The Trinity River itself embodies the ribbon that kind of ties the region together.
Well, you know, you can't just plan for something in a vacuum that's a river that goes, you know, hundreds of miles. I mean, you have to have some vision for the entire river. If you don't have a comprehensive approach to it, you know, you begin to have a stagnant river and you can have a contaminated river, and we want to have a healthy river.
What I would like for all of the communities to be able to continue to do is have the open communication that we've established mainly through this visioning process and the steering committee, because I think there's much to be gained. Some of us don't need to reinvent the wheel if it's already been tried in another community.
An opportunity for other floodplain administrators like myself to get together and compare notes, see how different problems are being addressed and handled in different cities, and to make sure that we're all still kind of playing by the same rules and not having an advantage or disadvantage from one city to the next. So it's been a real benefit from an interaction standpoint.
The floodplain administrators that are in this area have learned a lot from the COG, has learned a lot from being a municipality that works together, that everybody is involved with it, not only just as a municipality, but federal and state, and how we all have to work together, because we're all living here, it's all for us, and we need to do it together.
The smaller communities have just as much say in what goes on in the development of that area as the larger ones. Just so happens they don't have the voice, they don't think. But in this common vision, they have an equal voice. I think it gives them the ability to be able to voice their opinions on things and not to be overwhelmed by a large metroplex, two huge cities, whenever they're just a small little community. They have an equal voice.
With your position as a cooperating technical partner, meaning you, the COG, you oversee, or at least you are able to see, looking down at the communities, what their needs are, what's going on as a group rather than individual communities. And you have made some major miracles happen as far as mapping, floodplain mapping is concerned. You've brought people together that normally wouldn't have spoken or talked together before. And the effect overall in the entire Metroplex area especially are far better maps.
I think that one of our first major deliverables, some of the products that we provided in mapping that included data ladder maps, geographic, aerial photos, topographic maps, which we have shared with the region. And those are invaluable, the base information for anyone that's doing any type of planning, whether it be water resources planning, roadway planning, new development. They become a very valuable tool.
The Common Vision program really, to me, has really blended or meshed all these studies in the area. It's a very comprehensive study, and I think it's been worthwhile. And it isn't something that, okay, we've completed the study and then that's it. No, we have to continue, whether we include updating the models and all, using newer technology, so on and so forth. It's something that should really perpetuate itself, you know, that needs to be around for some time.
I think without the Common Vision and with the work that the COG has done for this part of the area, for the Trinity River, Fort Worth and the Dallas area would be underwater most of the time.
Always has had a flooding problem. I can remember floods when I was a child, you know, remember flooding major portions of the city.
Well, the Trinity River is not necessarily a normal river in the fact that so many watersheds lead into it. And then it sort of culminates its power just outside of Dallas-Fort Worth.
When it hits the Metroplex, the Trinity River is a very large, huge river, or can be. We've got flooding history that we need to remember. You've got levees in Fort Worth and Dallas that are part of the fix and part of the problem right now. And so there's a great deal of interest and work that needs to be done to address the Trinity River issues in the whole Metroplex right now.
One of the things that we, not just we, but I think all of the cities struggle with is the stormwater management.
You know, we used to call it flood control. And now we call it floodplain management. And then, you know, really the more we learn about it, the more we know we even have difficulty managing that. We really need to take buffers along these waterways, these floodplain areas and all, and respect the water for what it does and what it's going to do. Sometimes it's predictable, sometimes it's very unpredictable.
Because of that power and what water can do, I see the Trinity as a huge impact on this area, not only from the nature side of it being beautiful areas, but also from the devastating effects that flooding could have.
That dirty Trinity River sure have done me wrong. It came in my windows and doors, now all my things are gone.
Protection of our citizens is our #1 interest as far as the Trinity goes.
Public safety and floodplain management are of equal priority.
Floodplain management, a major part of floodplain management is life and safety, making sure we do no harm with our projects, and a major part of Common Vision is trying to stabilize the river so that as future development occurs, we are not causing a major increase in the river, which puts more people in the 100-year floodplain, both the existing homes or any future development.
That Common Vision looked at what's coming into the area, what's the population, and we forget that we need to work with nature, not against nature. And I believe the Common Vision is looking at the Texas area, the Texas terrain, and how can we develop with it, not against it.
The Trinity Trail System in Fort Worth, it's 42 miles of paved and soft surface trails that extend all along the Clear Fork, the West Fork up to Lake Worth almost, and the West Fork eastward downstream to Quanah Parker Park.
I mean, it's only been in the last few years that we've really embraced the river as a recreational activity other than fishing. And now at River Legacy we have canoe launches, and it is a place for discovery. You know, we have opportunities for children to go out to the river to understand the aquatic environment and the potential for rehabilitation of the river in some portions.
The Campion Trails, it's a trail system that will go completely along our eastern boundary along the Trinity River, and completely along half of our southern boundary is the Trinity River, and that half, of course, will have the trail as well. We work with the City of Dallas to make sure that we do have a continuous trail between the two cities and along the Elm Fork of the Trinity River.
The Audubon Center in Dallas, and how wonderful that is. We've got canoeing going on right now in the Trinity River. We've also got, gosh, I think a couple of dozen soccer fields coming on right in the Trinity River area.
3 major tributaries also have trail systems along them: Marine Creek and Sycamore Creek and Mary's Creek. And again, that just provides so many people with direct access to the trail system, not only just for recreational use, but also for potential transportation as well.
The Common Vision program was a forum where you could work through problems. Just to get people together and talk in a common way with a common goal is the main reason for doing this.
It's proven itself to be such a great conduit for ideas. People being able to, or communities being able to say, this is important to us, and explaining to the other communities why it's important to them.
I think it's imperative that with the growth that's occurring in the Dallas and the Fort Worth area, that the Common Vision must be moved further north and go into Denton County and Collin County. We need to look at what's happening, how can we look at the future, how can we plan the future, and the Common Vision is exactly what they need in those areas.
We'd like to see the study extended. Right now it just goes Trinity River and Beltline Road, Post Oak Road. We'd like to see it extended not only to the county line but possibly to the confluence with the East Fork.
As far as Common Vision, I think that the key to that is getting more involvement from communities that are not actively involved in it.
I think I would like to see the Common Vision carried on, because it does give you that basin-wide approach to addressing problems or development situations that are going to occur between cities.
So I think the role of the region is to make sure that Trinity is there in good shape, a beautiful amenity for decades and decades to come. And I think that's really what a regional approach can do for the Trinity River.
The mindset is changing in that the river is viewed as an amenity rather than something that one would back up to, as we used to do.
I'm just very, very hopeful about the Trinity. I'm just very hopeful that instead of it being kind of the back door and the forgotten asset that we have, it turns out that everybody sees its beauty and its functionality, you know, as a component of our community.
It'll be interesting in the next 5, 10, or 15 years to see how we apply the lessons of the Common Vision to other parts of the watershed. There's a lot of lessons about cooperation, about creativity, and about getting people aware of the Trinity as an asset that'll be particularly important for folks as they deal with watershed issues into the future.
In the 1980s on the Trinity River, there was a 19th century vision of a barge canal, poor water quality, flowing down the river with industry along the borders. And that was a great vision for the 19th century. For the 21st century, of which we are just now at the first decade concluding, we have a different common vision of a clean, a safe, an enjoyable, a natural, a diverse Trinity River corridor. We want to thank all of our local government, state, federal, citizen, business partners that have brought the success that the program and that the river has already seen, and we look forward to their continued commitment as we continue to put this 21st century vision into action.